Now, with that said, I want to take this moment to give a shout out to a former student of mine. I had him like in 1994. This young man was dynamic. He started a podcast called Conversations with Lamp. His name is James Lampkin. Former student of mine, had him back in 1994, I said, Suitland High School, Prince George's County, Maryland. Great guy. Got him. He was a sports fanatic. He not was just a sports fanatic. He knew the game. He knew statistics. He knew the people. He knew all of that. If you engaged him in sports trivia, he'd run laps around you. He somewhere along the line latched on to history and then got into what we call Black Pursuits with Miss Melanie Caldwell, rest in peace. Dynamic educator, mentor of mine, architect of my teaching style. But she got him into Black Pursuits, and they did a marvelous job with that. They were champions. They were crushing people. We'd go to their events and watch them just dismantle students, but he was part of that. He's taken his knowledge of history and his love of social justice and activity and things like that, and has really made a great, powerful podcast he calls Conversations with Lamp. I encourage you to check him out. Dynamic guy, dynamic information. You'll definitely learn from listening to him, and he has some excellent people on. So please, once again, investigate your time into Conversations with Lamp. Now, my next part of this is called noting. Now that you know how to read and you know how to get the information out, is what you do with the information now. Once you've got the information extracted, that's going to make the difference. So in noting, I should say, the first basis of your noting is what we call developing article cards. And this is a major part of my writing literature review section. It's a lot deeper than what I'm going to give you. So I don't mind giving you this part, because even in giving you this part, there's so much more that you need to know about them. So what are article cards? Article cards are a form of strategic note-taking. Essentially, the purpose is to extract the key findings only in an article and then make cards about them. And why do you need to do that? It enables you to get through articles faster with more information retained. If you're going in with the purpose of just extracting the key findings, and key findings ain't just one or two things, but you're going in extracting the key findings of an article, you then get that information done faster, and then it involves enacting a coding system so that you can organize that information. So you're not just getting the articles, having them on some note cards or a notebook or using some software, things like that. Software can never cover what this process gives you. In fact, every flaw in a software program you have, whether it's Deduce and Vivo and all of those, every flaw in those programs is covered in what we're talking about today, article cards. Now, another part of what article cards are is that they help you to actually target your readings. You focus primarily on the findings, discussions, and conclusions. That doesn't mean you don't read everything else. Remember, in 8.3, we talk about how to skim an article and how to read an article. So you're still doing your light skims, your medium skims, and your deep reads, but you're extracting the information out of your deep reads. So article cards help you target those readings. It also helps you create key vocabulary and critical concepts, particularly if you're new in the field. If you're emerging as a scholar and you don't know all of the vocabulary and the acronyms and all that stuff out there, there's information you can put on cards to help you know those. So there's actual article cards that are dedicated to you really grasping the key concepts of this research area, because you're looking to become an expert in that area. So you need to know all this said, the key words, the language used in this article. So you're going to have to actually make that work for you. So that's the second part of this, is article cards help you target your readings. The third part is that article cards are coded and ordered for you to be interchangeable and for interchangeable use that you can ultimately return back to its original form. So in each article card set, and I'll talk about what a set is in a minute, but each article card set, they'll actually number the articles that you have for that article card set, for that article, and you can then mix them up. But when you have to go back to putting them back in order, because they're coded in such a way, you can then bring them back. And there are 3 aspects to the code. Well, actually 4 or 5 aspects to the code. The first is that the card has at least 4 elements. It has an article number. The article number is the number of that particular article in your research study. So if you've gathered 50 articles and you're dealing with a 32nd article, then it's coded as article 32. And then it has an article number or article general topic or title. And that's the general area that you're researching. For example, if I'm studying leadership mindfulness and I'm dealing with the 32nd of my 50 some articles, then I know I'll see a code 32, leader mindfulness, and then there's another piece to that. The other piece of that is then your card number, which again is then article 32, leader mindfulness, card number 6. And if you have, let's say, 18 cards in this particular article that you've done, then although they're spread out on a table or something like that, when you have to assemble them back together, it's bringing them together, put them first by the article number, and then assemble them in their order as needed. But that's a simple way of being able to use your cards interchangeably, but then also have them come back to original form so you can use them over and over again in perpetuity. And once you do an article card set, they're yours for good. You don't have to redo them, things like that. And another important thing is that the first card on every article card set is a reference, an APA reference. So you always have the APA reference at hand, and it actually becomes a dominant part of that particular article card set that you're using.